When you hear me talk about stretch, or I use to be a round number, but that's not an actual for real number. Just follow with me on this. So we're going to talk about stretch from the front of the foot to the hands or the knob, because we know that as we stretch, again, we're going to get into hinges and things like that. You're going to find out that some people will overstride, and if we say stop overstriding, you need to know why is overstriding causing you so many problems. And this is going to go back to one of the 4 principles of when the front heel is down. Number 1, the glute is behind the heel, but my knob is as far back as it needs to get for me to create that perfect swing for the hitter themselves. So let's go over this. If I have 6 feet of rope stretched out, it's 6 feet long. But if I take that rope and I twist it all up and it's a big circle, how much rope is there? It's still 6 feet, okay? So understand, 6 feet is the number that we're gonna do that represents my front foot and my knob or my hands. So when I get into my load, that is 6 feet there. Now, if I stretch there, it's still 6 feet, all right? But what I'm doing is I'm taking, I'm gonna use a round number, 1 foot of my stretch when I take my foot from here to here. Well, what happens with this back hip? If I'm gonna take a nice easy load here, and I have my hinge, which is what we have to really work towards, and I have my good strong base, and now my hands, what happens when I overstretch that front foot? I have to come out because my body only has so much stretch. So I'm not going to be able to continue to have either the hinge or the load in the hands. So watch what happens. As I bring this back, I'm able to hold my stretch here, but I'm able to keep my hands in a good, strong position that's going to allow me space to work through the zone. But if I'm here and I overstride, I have to come out of this hinge. Now what happens with my hinge? All of the bad things that we talk about from lack of hinge. Pulling up out of the ball. I'm not going to be able to have power. I'm not going to be able to have adjustability. So when we talk about the 6 feet of stretch, what we are talking about is the amount of space front foot, my knobs or hands, okay, so that I can continue to have a good hinge right here. We have a lot of guys that are really overstretching that front foot because they think they're going to gain power. What they're trying to do is gain momentum by getting out here. And we'll go through later on, what I do is actually move my center up in the zone. So now that fastball that's 90 is now 92 because I don't have as much to react, okay? Now I have to be out here. Now I'm out on my front foot. Where's my hinge? My hinge is gone. I can't hinge back. And the simple fact is if I just pull it back a little bit, I can create more behind the ball. So when we talk about 6 feet of stretch, that's not a real number. That's just a number that I use. But remember, if the hands aren't able to get up, many times they're going to go, and that overstretch will cause this and this because now I'm here. Can't here. Simple fix. Now I'm nice and balanced. I'm in a proper position to turn through the behind the ball. Okay? Don't overstride. You're going to lose your 6 feet of stretch.